Claire had always been fascinated by the paranormal. From ghost stories told in hushed tones around campfires to midnight YouTube marathons of urban exploration, she craved the thrill of the unexplained. So when her aunt, who had become a documentary filmmaker, gifted her an old audio recorder for her birthday, she immediately thought about how she could use it to capture her own spine-tingling tales. One evening, craving a taste of adventure, Claire decided it was time to explore Finch Hollow, a derelict house at the edge of her town. The locals whispered that it was haunted, filled with the voices of those who had mysteriously vanished decades ago. Armed with her recorder and a flashlight, Claire set off as dusk settled over the landscape. The air felt heavy as she approached the decrepit structure, ivy clinging to the crumbling bricks like desperate hands. She flicked on the recorder, excited to document her exploration. "This is Claire Johnson, adventurer and aspiring ghost huntress," she said, her voice echoing against the hollow walls. The door creaked in protest as she pushed it open, revealing a darkened foyer, wallpaper peeling like old skin. Claire's heart raced as she stepped inside. Shadows danced around her, flickering with the light of her flashlight as she wandered deeper into the house. She captured sounds around her, the groaning of the house, the rustle of mice, and, in the far distance, what might have been a whisper. She brushed it off as her imagination, a remnant of the eerie atmosphere. As she continued exploring, Claire stumbled upon a cramped room filled with dusty, neglected furniture. In the corner lay a wooden chest, its lock rusted and broken, as if begging to be opened. With trembling hands, she lifted the lid. Inside, she found a collection of audio tapes, their spines faded and cracked. More ghost stories, she murmured with excitement, already imagining the thrilling exploration ahead. She tucked the tapes beneath her arms and moved back to the foyer to sit on the creaky floor. Pulling the recorder from her backpack, she flipped the switch that would allow her to play the tapes. The sound echoed through the house, sharp and crackling. With each tape, Claire was drawn into the stories, heart-pounding, as voices filled the air, stories of an unsolved mystery, tales of the missing who had once wandered the halls of Finch Hollow. And yet, as the last tape finished playing, something shifted in the atmosphere. The air felt thick, as if they had finally stirred something that had long lain dormant. Suddenly, Claire's recorder buzzed erratically and then paused, capturing something that wasn't part of the tapes. A shiver ran down her spine as she heard whispers pour out of the small speaker, frantic and pleading. Help us, they're coming." Her breath caught in her throat. The whispers didn't sound like mere recordings, they felt alive, intertwining with her thoughts. Her heart raced, and she frantically tried to stop the playback, but the recorder wouldn't respond. The voices intensified, filling the room like a storm, twirling around her in a chaotic, chilling chant. Then came a knock on the door, echoing through the silence. Claire's heart pounded louder than ever, but curiosity outweighed her fear. She inched toward the front door and peeked through the cracked wood. Nothing. She turned back to her recorder, the screeching whispers still begging for her help, but the urgency in their tone had shifted to something malicious, a warning disguised in desperation. Get out before she finds you." Suddenly, the ground shook beneath her feet, and a shadow swept across the wall behind her. Claire spun around, her flashlight beam darting wildly. Nothing was there, but the air felt charged, electric with terror. She needed to leave, now. Claire bolted for the door, her pulse racing, but as she reached for the handle, it swung open with a bone-rattling creak. Staring at her from the darkness was a figure, its face obscured in shadows. Claire stumbled back, falling to the ground. As she frantically crawled backwards, she felt the chilling touch of cold air wrapping around her ankles. The figure stepped into the light, revealing hollow eyes that bore into her soul. "You shouldn't have listened," it rasped. "You can't leave now, they're awake." Screaming, Claire turned and fled, crashing through the door and into the night. The full moon hung like a witness to her terror as she sprinted back through the dark woods, the whispers echoing in her ears. Days passed before she returned to her normal life, but the observant flicker of fear always lingered in her gaze. Nerves frayed, she decided to listen to the unplayed recording from the night of her exploration. Gripping the recorder, she closed her eyes, preparing herself for the nightmare once again. However, when she hit play, only one word whispered through the device, cold and clear. "Run." She could hear the laughter echoing in the dark, and as dread filled her heart, Claire understood that the unnerving reality wasn't just tied to Finch Hollow, but that it had followed her home.